Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nicole Kauffman, and for today's video I'm going to do a what I eat in a day as a nursing mom. So when I started breastfeeding, I literally was the hungriest I've ever been, and it was really hard for me not to eat junk food all day. So I think it's really important to be eating enough when you're breastfeeding and to be eating healthy things. So this is also dairy free because I actually completely cut out dairy, I think around 3 or 4 months postpartum, because our little guy was not sleeping and just seemed to be in pain a lot and was having a lot of issues that led us to think he had a dairy sensitivity. And as soon as I cut it out, it was a night and day difference, which I do talk about in this video that I'll link here. But cutting out dairy has definitely been tough, but it just takes a lot more intentionality in finding ideas. And honestly, there are some really easy swaps that I have that I'll show you today with butter and milk and things like that that really make it easier. The hardest thing, if you're out and about and you want dessert, usually they include dairy. Honestly, what I eat doesn't really change very much. I need to get some more variety. If you have any tips for snacks or lunch ideas, put them in the comments below because I really am open to ideas and would love to hear more. So let's go ahead and get started with breakfast. Good morning, guys. So, I always start out my morning pretty early. Usually I do wait until after I feed Bennett. But I start out with a bowl of oatmeal. This is something I do almost every single morning. I feel like it helps me to stay full until the next time that I can eat. And you can kind of customize it to switch it up, which I do love. So I actually found this bag of oats at Costco. I love it because not only is it organic, it was a really, really good price, but it is sprouted, and sprouted grains actually have a lot more health benefits because it breaks down that outer layer and allows you to actually digest the grain a lot more easily and get more of the nutrients. So I'm really excited about these. I started eating these a couple of days ago. Normally I just have like the Bob's Red Mill organic oats. I do think organic oats are really important. It's one of the things I always buy organic no matter what. And so a lot of times I just do plain oats and brown sugar, and I actually usually add a splash of almond milk. Sometimes I will add a dash of salt if I remember. But other ways that I make it is sometimes I'll chop up a banana, I'll add peanut butter, chia seeds, blueberries, or sometimes I'll do like a cinnamon raisin. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually customize this, which is just nice to kind of switch it up because I hate eating the same thing over and over. Bennett usually sits here so patiently as I make my breakfast, and usually I just give him a couple toys so I can get it ready. While it is cooking, this is when I usually go feed our chickens and let the dog out to go to the bathroom so that I can feed her. So everybody is pretty much eating breakfast at the same time. So I actually only got 1 egg this morning. I do think that our chickens are laying less eggs now because the light is changing. It's actually not light very long anymore, so we're gonna actually be getting a light this winter. But I will actually be eating this egg later, this or one of them, but we're getting low on eggs, so I'm hoping that we can get that fixed because I do like to have an egg every day. I'll eat my breakfast in here so that Bennett can just crawl around and play, and I can just like kind of enjoy my breakfast in peace and just watch him play, and he can have a good time too. So I'll go ahead and eat this, and that is what I do for breakfast. Okay guys, so it is around 9:30 and I'm going to go ahead and eat an egg and some toast with jelly. So I do this every single day. I'm usually starving by 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on if Bennett wakes up from his nap early or if he's still sleeping. I will go ahead and make an egg with some toast and jelly, and sometimes I do add an apple to this, but I have been liking my apple in the afternoon, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet today. And I will go ahead and show you that, and also the butter that I've been using since I am dairy free, and I also have found bread that I really love. So I've been using this Mayokos butter. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have both the stick butter as well as the spreadable butter. I usually use this stick butter. I only recently found this spreadable butter, and it's a little bit sweeter, but I do like it for toast. So that's what I've been using to make an egg and pretty much for everything. I think it tastes really, really good. It's the closest one I found to regular butter. I've tried a bunch of other brands, but I do really like this one. So recently I had found Dave's Killer Bread, which I do really, really love. I just ran out of that, and I had this one from Aldi. It's sprouted grains as well. I think that's the new thing. And I do love it. I realized that I've been eating a lot of bread just because it's easy to make PB&J or a sandwich or just have it with toast. And so I wanted to find a better quality bread that was actually giving me nutrition instead of just eating white bread or even just plain wheat bread. I didn't love the ingredients in that. So I found this bread. I've really been loving it with jelly. I do make a lot of PB&Js, which I'll probably make one this afternoon. I've really been into those, and I like that this bread is just a little bit more hearty and a little bit more healthy. I am actually using the egg that I got from the chickens this morning, which I love, just walking into the backyard and being able to get eggs and have them be fresh and know exactly where they're coming from. So we are actually planning on getting a light to put into the chicken coop so that we can get more eggs, hopefully through the winter, because I love having fresh eggs and can't imagine having to buy them again. Okay, so two things that I forgot to mention earlier. So one is that I drink a ton of water during the day. So I talked about this in my breastfeeding video, which I will link above, but I held on to my cup from the hospital, which was like a liter of water, for way too long, like long enough that I started tasting like plastic when I was drinking water. So finally I got this, which I do love. It's a little top heavy because of the shape, but this holds, I think it's like 32 ounces of water, and I fill it up several times a day. When you're breastfeeding, you need to drink a lot of water. That helps with your milk supply, and it also just helps you to feel better. So I try and drink a ton of these during the day. I try and drink at least one by breakfast and then another one by around 9:30 or 10, and then just keep up that like every few hours, refill it. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that I actually take these sodium chloride tablets. So because of some of my health conditions, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and POTS, I actually need more sodium. This is a 1 gram tablet of salt. I actually just found this brand. It's a little cheaper. I take these 3 or 4 times a day, and they just help me to retain water. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, I've had a couple people asking me about EDS and stuff. Let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video about it, just going more in depth about what I do to kind of manage my symptoms. So yeah, so I take those breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then sometimes before bed, depending on how I'm feeling that day. And then the last thing that I'll mention is usually in between now and lunch, I will eat some sort of like granola bar, sometimes even an apple I'll do in between. These are from Target. They are just very basic granola bars. They're kind of like Nutri-Grain bars, organic. I do, just like I like Oats organic granola bars, which are made of oats, I like to get organic. And I've been struggling to find like really good protein granola bars that are organic or just very basic ingredients that aren't really expensive. So I do want to try making them sometime. I make granola. I've done it once before, but I will just pick up whatever's on sale and whatever I can find. So this week it was these. So I will probably eat this and maybe an apple before lunch. And yeah, I will see you guys for lunch. Okay, so if things line up well, I usually end up eating lunch around Bennett's second nap. So it's now 12:30, which is usually a little later than he goes down for a nap, but I am going to make lunch. I actually have some leftover chicken in the fridge from dinner last night, the past 2 nights. So I'm just gonna cut that up, put it on a salad, and see what else we have that I can eat with a salad, because that's never enough for me. Okay, so 2 things that I forgot to mention earlier. So one is that I drink a ton of water during the day. So I talked about this in my breastfeeding video, which I will link above, but I am going to make lunch. Actually, I have some leftover chicken in the fridge from dinner last night, the past 2 nights. So I'm just gonna cut that up, put it on a salad, and see what else we have that I can eat with a salad, because that's never enough for me. Okay, so I absolutely have been in love with these sourdough flatbreads. All you really need to do for them is take your sourdough starter, give it a little bit of a stir, and put the starter right onto your cast iron. My starter's a little thicker than I normally would have here. That's why I'm having a little bit of trouble actually getting it to spread out. I always end up making them lopsided too, but it doesn't matter because they taste just as good. So I go ahead and put those onto the cast iron, and then I will take a couple different seasonings. Usually I do garlic powder, I do onion powder, and I do oregano, and then I love to add a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, but depending if I have this next to me or not, sometimes I'll just skip that and add it afterwards, but I do love the taste. Then you just go ahead and stick it in a 400-degree oven and let it cook for 10 minutes. The one thing you need to remember is to preheat your cast iron in the oven, but it's that simple. And then when it comes out, they should be slightly crispy on the bottom. You can cook them as long as you want. I think around 10 to 12 minutes is usually what works for us. Sometimes I'll actually use a pizza cutter and cut them into nice little strips if I want them to look nice. Other times I will just take the whole blob of flatbread and eat it with my lunch. Okay, seriously guys, this lunch is looking way fancier than what I normally do. I just got really lucky because I had chicken in the fridge. I do try and start the month out buying salad stuff so we can at least have like a good chunk of time where we'll have fresh salads. But sometimes for lunch I'll do this type of salad. Sometimes I have chicken, sometimes I do hard-boiled eggs, and then other times I'll just have something like pasta. I actually started doing chickpea pasta sometimes because that has protein, but a lot of times I'll do pasta with like some veggies or just something else very simple. Something that's quick but also definitely has a lot of nutrition in it is what I aim for lunches. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this. Usually I take my lunch to my desk and try and get some work done since Bennett is normally still sleeping. So I will eat this while I'm getting some work done, and I'll see you guys in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm just hanging out with the little guy for the last couple minutes before his nap and his final nap, which is a little short one. And I just made myself a PB&J on that bread I had earlier and sliced up an apple. This is just kind of to get me through till dinner because I realized that I was getting really like grumpy by the time my husband got home and just feeling totally like fatigued, and I think it was because I was hungry. So I started just kind of having this. Sometimes I try and switch it up, but honestly I've really been loving a PB&J. Sometimes I'll have a little glass of almond milk with it. Just kind of reminds me, I don't know, I feel like a kid, but I love it. So that's what I have in the afternoon just to get me through till dinner. And yeah, then I will be back to make dinner soon. Okay, so for dinner we are having this turkey skillet. It's kind of like a teriyaki style skillet, and Bennett is having some peas. I like to pack it with as many veggies as I can, and I do like to then use this the next day for lunch if possible. Bennett actually just kind of sat with me while I cooked it until Eric got home, and then Eric was able to take him so that I could finish getting it ready. So now we are all sitting down together, which we try to do every day, sit down together and have dinner. And yeah, I'll be back later for my late night snack. So pretty much every night I end my night with a big bowl of popcorn. I just pop organic kernels in my air popper, and then I'll either add some of the Mayokos butter that I was talking about or olive oil, depending on what I'm in the mood for, and then a whole bunch of salt, which, like I said earlier, I actually need extra salt, so that's okay. And I pretty much always have this, otherwise I end up waking up in the middle of the night hungry at some point, and that's no fun. So this is how I end my night. Sometimes I'll add something sweet with it, and sometimes I'll just stick with this. I feel like it's very nutritious and definitely keeps me full. So that's pretty much it. That's my day. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you were able to get some good ideas if you're looking for anything. And again, let me know if you have any other ideas in the comments below. Make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys next week.